What's up, party people, to another episode of Who Actually Podcast. I'm your humble host, Studi 2 Groovy, and right now we got Real Truth Being Told, Fort Wayne in the building. Rich, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So today's episode, we're going to be breaking down Gematria again, and I'm going to let you go ahead and take over. We're going to break down what Gematria is after the a video and an explanation. Then I'll bring up my PowerPoint. Y'all know how I do. We break it down. So go ahead, take over.
Oh, first, hope there's plenty of people in the live. I went ahead and invited, a lot of people and posted this and found out we got censored there. They didn't want us to invite people to this show, so we'll see how that turns out.
Real quick.
The main message I want to send to everybody is just how this is a plandemic. It's a government agenda. We got a rap song in like 2012 that talked about it. We got all kinds of predictive programming. I'm going to start out with the Event 201. That's something hosted by Bill Gates, the World Health Organization, and the Johns Hopkins University. Back on October 18th, before any of this happened, Bill Gates hosted what we call Event 201. You might ask yourself, what is Event 201? It was a simulation that said that 65 million people could die from a virus. So, I ask myself, with a simulation like this, is Bill Gates some kind of a fortune teller?
Yeah.
3 weeks after that, just a second. 3 weeks after the simulation, Bill Gates, excuse me, bro.
Yep.
That's some good stuff. Bill Gates was in a documentary on Netflix called Plandemic. And then the video we're about to watch is about the movie Inferno starring Tom Hanks. It came out on Bill Gates' birthday. What are the odds of that? Now, Inferno was a movie about a billionaire advocating for population control. So put all that together. Now, what I want to show you is the movie Inferno is exactly 121 minutes long. Now, I want you to remember all these numbers because they all go together. So it's funny that movie's 121 minutes long, and 121 minutes is also 2 hours and 1 minute, kind of like Event 201. And then shortly after, Trump makes an announcement out of his own mouth that said we're pushing the lockdown date back to April 30th. With leap year, that's the 121st day of the year. And then Sirius XM comes out with the coronavirus channel 121. It's all ritualism, it's all mockery.
Yeah,
What else do we have? Do you want to get out the Gematria?
I'm about to bring up the video.
Well, we'll do the video. Let's bring out the calculator first.
Yep, I can. Okay. One moment, please, as I share my screen.
Can you
Okay.
type in the word? Can you type in the word pandemic for me?
Yep.
You see that 65 right there?
Yep.
Now, do you notice how Event 201 was a simulation that could kill 65 million people?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how they contrived that number. Now, let me go deeper into that. Event 201 happened on Melinda's 65th day of her age, and Bill and Melinda were once married on Bill's 65th day of his age. So what does that tell you right there?
That they playing games. They playing number games.
Exactly. And the number 65 is obviously special to the Gates family, you know.
Right.
Let me see, where else do I want to go? Let's look at that number 121, because remember, one of the first cases came out in Bill Gates's backyard in Seattle on January 21st, like 1/21, and then the TV channels 121, and then the lockdown dates 121. The movie Inferno is 121 minutes. Let's type in World Health Organization.
Okay.
See that right there? 121.
And in the reduction at that.
Yes. How about, and all four of these base ciphers are very relevant, and Zachary K. Hubbard does teach that very well. Type in coronavirus outbreak, please.
Hey, 121.
121. You know, just like Event 201, you know, the movie Inferno is 121 minutes or 2 hours, 1 minute. You know, it's all mockery, bro. Type in Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Oh, sorry. There we go. 121. I had spelled Gates wrong.
Yeah, you're good, brother. Now type in Johns with an S on the end, Johns,
Yep.
Hopkins University. They also helped host.
And I have a lecture where I touch on these things, and I'm going to bring that up at the end.
Okay.
At the
Please
end.
Please do, brother.
You said John Hopkins.
Put an S on the end of Johns.
Yep. John Hopkins. What did you say?
University. They also hosted
all of
Event
these names
201.
are just popping in my head because I did a whole lecture on this.
Absolutely.
121 again.
121. Now, lastly, let's type in William Henry Gates, his full name.
$201.
201. So that's why it's called Event 201, because this is what ritualistic people do. Now, if you could erase that, this is something that's not on coronavirus topic. The people in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in my hometown, will appreciate this, or at least see this. Type in Tom Henry, please. That's the mayor of Fort Wayne. Because I looked at this one day to see if this stuff is going on a smaller scale. Tom Henry is the 35th mayor of Fort Wayne, and his birthday is November 8th. What do you see?
Yeah. 35.
So I'd really like to ask Tom Henry if he's into gematria and numerology and the cabal. You know, I mean, It really makes you think these people are named accordingly. They're born and bred to be. They have ongoing planned agendas that are, that have gone on longer than we've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what's going on. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got questions. Everybody thinks they know the answer. But if they're not looking at this knowledge, bro, they're off. They're behind the curve.
They're missing a big piece of of the
Of the
information.
puzzle.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to ritualism. You've seen all the 121s and you've seen the 201. It's all tied together there, Now let's watch the video. Let's take 10 minutes. And bro, I posted these videos for years now.
Yeah.
And just a small handful of people actually take time to listen to the man. I'm not taking you down the rabbit hole here. I want people to know that these aren't boring videos. This isn't like, oh, I don't want to listen to this. People should listen to what this man has been putting out every single day for 7 years. He has an 800-page book that explains more than his 10,000 videos do. And now he's got another book coming out you can find called The Numbers Game. And just listen to the 10-minute video. It's about the movie Inferno, which we spoke about. And if you didn't understand me good, you're going to understand how he ties all this together. Just check it out.
And I actually want to there's this picture going around where Bill Gates is posing, and one of the books that he has next to him is How to Deceive with Numbers.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Stu?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we play the video?
Yep.
People we say sports are scripted, we say politics are scripted, we say Bill Gates is part of the club. Do you think Bill Gates don't see all these posts about him? Why wouldn't he get on the camera and defend himself? Why wouldn't he say, "Oh, why wouldn't the owner of the Yankees get on the camera and say, hey, wait, we're here. Lots of people say that our sport is scripted. So we just want you to know that, sports aren't scripted and we're here playing a fair game and it's not about ritualism. It's not about the billions of dollars." Why don't they get on there and defend themselves over all these conspiracy theories?
I think because when you give it would give him more credibility. I think if they would acknowledge, like for instance, Oprah. I saw recently Oprah said that it is a despicable accusation against her about her child trafficking business and all that stuff, which she actually does do, and that's why she got the ankle monitor on, because a lot of those pedophiles are actually on house arrest. Not to mention, there's a video of her saying that if a molester is good, then the kid will enjoy it. But everybody praises Oprah. Like, y'all got to check out. I'm not trying to plug myself.
Boggles my mind. That stuff boggles my mind.
I literally have y'all got to check out the channel deeper, because I have that on my lecture on one of my. I did a lecture on the white rabbit adrenochrome, and I break down when, where, how it's made and who's involved and blase split, all that, and it breaks that down. But Oprah, it has to be that important, and it must be affecting her business and her image in order for her to say something. So Bill Gates isn't. My point is, Bill Gates won't say anything unless it's fucking with his business, and until he's not.
Well, you know what? Isn't it all like that for all celebrities? You notice, like when you go to the MLB baseball game, like the players will never talk to you. They'll always just like look forward and go into the dugout. They're like not supposed to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this goes with like government, celebrities, athletes, people like Bill Gates. And I think that's because there's so many secrets. If they sat there and talked to people like regular Joes, then people are going to start asking them questions that they don't want to answer.
And they might slip up and say something that they weren't supposed to.
Yes. Yeah. So just take your $4 million you just made this year and shut your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep being ritualistic and keep being ritualistic like you are.
But look, I kind of pity them a little bit.
I'm getting mad, bro.
Well, I kind of pity them because they live a life where at any given moment a family member can be chosen to, to get murdered. And they're like they're literally blackmailed. Their whole life they're blackmailed.
About that. One thing, you've seen the business card. I promote scripted sports, scripted politics, false flag occurrences, the shaming of Black history. It goes on and on. Zach Hubbard shows a lot of murder videos. Here's the difference. I do think, okay, some people got murdered. I think most of it, though, is fake deaths because we're talking about the same ritualistic people that lie to us, and they use the media to do that. And I got Kobe's fake death. I think a lot of these people, like if they're a politician or a celebrity and they go to prison, I think they're really not going to prison. Their character died and they're somewhere else. Kobe Bryant is somewhere else. His character died. I got to ask you this. How can Zach Hubbard predict so many deaths? It's because he's seeing the dates and the numbers, and that person is like basically committing a ritual on that date. How did he call out George H.W. Bush's death on 11? He said he wouldn't get out in November. And he was getting trolled to death on like the 28th and the 29th.
Yeah.
And then boom, he dies on the 30th. 11 plus 30 is 41. He's the 41st president. Do you see, and Hubbard shows more, of course. But do you see what they did there?
I get that because I feel like they siphon the energy of loss and mourning that people feel. When they build up the person so high and because you got to think a lot of our life is structured on celebrity, on what's popular, on what's being pushed.
Influences. So role models.
Even when you snatch a toy from a child, they cry.
Right.
So when a celebrity passes away, that's our
like
toy.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
like Kobe Bryant.
Exactly. That's our toy being snatched.
That weakens people. People and gives them more power, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I would call that ritualism.
Yeah,
power.
It's magical spells for sure. People don't think magic is real because they think of the fantasized
manufactured.
But
it's manufactured magic, though. It's not like magic. It's fooling people, manipulating people, controlling people. What we're basically saying, and this is what Hubbard promotes and shows, is these people are playing God over the masses.
Yeah.
And they're playing God. They create the problem in order to provide the solution. So you're going to call that magic? Is that magic?
Yeah, it's like if I tell you this is going to happen on this day, and then I make sure down to the T that situation happens, you're going to think magic. That I have power. Yeah, you're going to think like, oh, he's prophetic. But really it's, no, I made the environment to where what I
manipulation.
Said happen.
Manipulation.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Real Gab. Appreciate you, brother.
So
we can go all day, Yeah. I mean, but we want to stick to the coronavirus, but we're doing, yeah. we just made a great point, bro, for sure. I hope it was explained well, and I'm sure it was.
You make the virus, you create the virus and the cure, and either way you're getting paid. I want to say that before we play this.
You're controlling people. You're keeping them at home. What happened to those killer hornets? I didn't see any yet.
I think they're asleep.
It's all. Oh, okay. That I think that was like more ways to like keep people inside more.
No, don't
You
forget
know,
this. Don't forget this. And I know we keep saying we're going to play the video, but check this out. Remember, World War III was just about to happen. What happened to that? Is that not still going on right now? Like,
bro, when things happen, I just said this yesterday. Whenever things happen, they'll always make it look like an accident. Even if it's World War III or the coronavirus or 9/11, they'll always take the heat off them by making it look like an accident, creating the problem, and then coming in and providing the solution.
being a savior.
Yes, and it's all part of their ongoing agenda, thought of years in advance. I mean, I'll get better at these. We got to do some videos where I go back and talk. I'm not going to use notes. I just want to talk to you, tell you the 9/11 riddle, tell you all the Super Bowl riddles, tell you the Tom Brady enters the NFL during 9/11, and we show the riddle with Drew Bledsoe and the Jets. I mean, it doesn't get in. It's just so obvious and undeniable. So there's so much we can cover, bro.
Yeah.
All the time, every day.
Welcome to the channel. Thank you for popping in and watching. He says, words are magic, the way things are worded and the way the words have different meanings. Exactly. In the English language, everything has a double meaning, and most of our language is derived from Latin. And for people who don't know, Latin is what magic is based on. Like all those spells and all those rituals, think about how in Harry Potter, all their spells are in Latin, and there's other book series called the Mortal Instruments. They use Latin for their magic, and what is it called? A demonomic? Not it's something. It's Necronomicon. Sorry, they use Latin. So Latin is really the spell. So when we're talking to each other, like for instance. Blessed, and I learned this from young Pharaoh, and I looked it up myself. Blessed means to sprinkle blood on yourself. So when you say have a blessed day, you're telling somebody to be covered in blood. Sprinkle blood.
And I want to shout out to Charles Clark. That's my personal friend. I've known him, 20 some years. And I want people to not get this word magic we're using mistaken in any way with my views, because the stuff I show is not magic. It's people that run this world doing this to us, whether it be sports, news, politics, false flags. Donald Trump's not waving his magic wand and making Super Bowl 52 be rigged.
But
they're doing this. It's manipulation. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Sorry.
A magician uses an illusion to get in a reaction to control your feelings and control your synapses. So I
dig that. I dig that.
In a way, when I say magic, I'm not talking about Harry Potter type magic.
Right. Well, okay.
Okay, don't get me wrong.
But people watching this
spiritual magic though, don't get me wrong. You can manipulate the ether to get shit done what you want. Don't mistake that. But what I'm saying is the government manipulation are massive spells in the sense of they are manipulating our feelings, our bodies, our DNA to fit
our thoughts,
what
we believe.
Yeah, all of that.
They're controlling what people believe. I work part-time in a gas station because I'm disabled, and 9 out of 10 people have masks and gloves on, and I'm just standing there taking their money, talking to them, and handing them a business card. Zachary K. Hubbard, Gematria Effect News. Here, and I'm actually getting pretty good feedback. I think people are starting to catch on. So now we just try to put the icing on the cake and show them how, why, and where, Hubbard proves that this all goes on. And my whole goal is to have, I don't care if it's only 20 or 30 people in every city across the nation, like all the major cities. with one of these T-shirts on. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see that good. And business cards, all pointing people in the right direction so this community can grow and confront the federal government about ritualism, numerology, and all the other bullshit. That's my goal right there. 1 million people in DC and say, hey, we have the answer to all of these riddles here.
And we could get legal. I mean, we could do it to where we got the legal evidence. We got all of we can literally compile a file and bring it.
But
we're done with the game. Like, we're done with the games. We have
but your legal paperwork won't do any good because we're pretty much confronting the federal government. So, if the Constitution's more than a piece of paper, then our enemies, we have the right to defend ourselves against our enemies, foreign or domestic, and our enemies are domestic. So there is no filing paperwork and like making a police report because
I mean, it's like, here's the information. I feel like this. If people really want to make a change for not everybody has to learn first. It can't be a bunch of angry people storming the government. Like, that doesn't work. We should hold on, just let me finish. Because that's all that's going to do is just get people killed or get people to be locked up in Guantanamo Bay somewhere or wherever the fuck they hold in political prisoners. That's all that's going to do. We need to rally up as much people as we can with knowledge, so it's not a blind act. It's not this is a terrorist group. No, these are American patriots that's sick of the bullshit. Here's the information. Here's why. Here's who. Bill Gates, like for instance, since we're on COVID, Bill Gates should literally be under a federal prison right now. There is no reason why he's walking around doing. He literally is a treasonous bastard. He sold out our country to foreigners. He's killing little babies in Africa with poisonous vaccines, and now he's trying to massively push vaccines on us that they haven't even did. As far as I know, they haven't even done human trials.
See, why would Bill Gates be in prison if he's all on their side? You know what I mean? That's not going to happen.
We need to learn how. We need to actually, if we're going to be okay. I understand that you're saying throw the whole system away, but if we're going to be stuck in this system for now, every single American person who cares needs to learn what powers citizens actually have. If we can do a citizen's arrest, which we are legally able to, then we cannot wait for these other people to do it. We need to do it. We need to find Bill Gates, and we're the American people. They don't run America. I understand that America is a corporation, but according to the Constitution, we run the country and they work for us. So instead of keep being subject to their tyranny, we need to learn our laws, learn the Constitution, and bring it to them. That's what we need to do.
One thing I wanted to apologize was about our misunderstanding. Part of my plan was to never storm the government. It's have 1 million people show up and confront the government, and that is with having the police and the military on our side, because they're part of the 1 million people that's learned all the stuff that I can show you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if that day ever came and the police and the military knew to be on the people's side, because this has all been scripted and it's all the people's biblical prophecies and our life has just been a big joke and history's a lie. If all the police and military also learned that, I think defeating the federal government would be a slaughter, a one-day war, and we wouldn't have no bullshit media every day. And I'm taking words that I've learned from Zach Hubbard right now, and it's all true. So we can't look at the system to find justice because it's all controlled.
Right.
It's all, the media is controlled, the military is controlled, all the bullshit newspapers, everything that people think and learn is all controlled. So you can't get any justice using the system. Do you see what I'm saying, brother?
But I definitely, I do not disagree with you on that. But let's take responsibility for the fact that we have allowed this. And when I say we, I don't even mean our generation. I mean the people before us have allowed the government to take control of the country instead of us controlling the government. Like,
you know what the sad part?
We don't have to. If it's not in the Constitution, we don't have to follow it. Even the like, people were getting mad because in Michigan, the militia was storming the building, and they're like, try to make me stay in the house, and they had guns out. That is within their rights because they can't force us not to go outside. And then people are so stupid that they're like, oh, why would they open up the cities and why would they open up the country and COVID is still out there, as if they don't have the right or the capability or the will to stay in the house if they want to. We are so used to being controlled. Excuse me, this is my last thing. I'll shut up.
You're good. You're good, brother.
We are so used to being controlled that it's like we don't know what to do unless somebody is telling us what to do. So we can't be upset if they're killing us, if they're taking advantage of us, if they're taking the resources of the world, if they're poisoning us, beating us and all that, if we're willfully allowing it because we don't want to take responsibility for our own life and our own actions. Like,
I try, man. I'm trying out here to get people to see things. And I get it. People have been conditioned for a long time, like all of our lives. Imagine this one. We have this virus, and I think it's just a cold. It's just it's just like a cold, probably. And what they did is pumped it way up, and they contrived the numbers. Now, do you notice how there's always lines in the sky in every city in the United States, and nobody seems to see it, and they think they're contrails? Mm-hmm. Now, here, imagine this. They're really spraying us with nothing. Maybe they're probably putting metals in the sky or whatever, and it's harming the grass and the fruits and the vegetables and the air. But imagine if that doesn't really hurt us that much. But then one day they really start spraying something really harmful to us that kills people a little faster, right? And people will be so used to seeing those lines in the sky that they'll pay no attention to it, just like every day. But now all of a sudden, they turn up the volume a little bit, and then they'll blame it on the coronavirus. They'll say, "Oh well, we opened the cities back up, and nobody would stay in," and there's where they make it look like an accident again, but it kills even more people. And all I see, and I try to get through to people, is the 1940 newspaper that you can look up right now on Google. 1940 New World Order pledge to the you-know-who's. We won't say the word because we'll probably get our video taken down. Yeah. So
you said 1940s
pledge to blank. you know what I mean? It says it in the newspaper, so people are probably much.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because I saw that. And I have it actually in my history. So, yeah.
It's the reason it's huge is because I'm going to tie something together here, though, for you. The timing of that newspaper article, 1941 is when Pentagon construction went underway, which is a year after that news article. And this is something no one talks about. I kind of put this together myself. I tie that to our 9/11 riddle, which you probably don't remember that, but we said it on the video last time. It goes September 11th, 1941 Pentagon. The Pentagon was either under construction or it was built September 11th, 1941. What are the odds that September 11th, 60 years to the day of September 11th? Well, then I go from to 1968 with the Bush graduated from Yale, Skull and Bones. You got 911 became the emergency dialing code, and World Trade Center construction went underway, all in 1968. And every year Bush's birthday is 68 days from 9/11. I just kind of tie that article with the New World Order with the 1941 Pentagon and the 1968 World Trade Center and 911. And then 2001, 33 years later, that kind of goes with our riddle there a little bit. It shows that we're living out this agenda that's been going on since at least, right around 1940. I mean, this is, if you want to tie it all together, or you can just watch all 10,000 of his videos.
I'm going to read the article headline so people know that this isn't like fake and we're not just.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm going to. And then we got to watch the video. Watch the video soon.
This is New York Times, New World Order pledge to Jews. Arthur Greenwood of British.
Talk about a red flag. Sorry, bro. Talk about a red flag. That you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Arthur Greenwood of British War Cabinet sends message of assurance here. Writing of wrong seeing English. Rabbi delivers to Dr. SSY's new statement on question after war. Now, as you can see, this is literally October 6, 1940. Unfortunately, hold on, let me I'm just going to read this a little bit. So they know that the New World Order isn't really a conspiracy theory. At the least, this is what you can take from this. This was literally in a New York Times newspaper in the 1940s. That wasn't too far from now, and they literally said New World Order.
Months before Pentagon construction.
So it says, in the first public declaration on the Jewish question since the outbreak of the war, Arthur Greenwood, member without portfolio in the British War Cabinet, assured the Jews of the United States that when victory was achieved, an effort will be made to found a new world order based on the ideals of justice and peace. So it's not a fucking conspiracy. Let me reread that, okay?
Bro, and I don't even know what that stuff says. I just know it says, the headline. You know what I mean?
Listen. This is from the article, okay? In the first public declaration on the Jewish question since the outbreak of the war, Arthur Greenwood, member without portfolio in the British War Cabinet, assured the Jews of the United States that when victory was achieved, an effort would be made to found a new world order based on the ideals of justice and peace. Who's justice? And who's peace? But you see that they literally wow.
Here, let me tie something together too. I'm not against Jewish people. I'm not against nobody. I'm not racist at all, but I'm learning that maybe I should be racist of high Jewish people, like Zionist Jews, or like the ones that own the banks and the government and the rigged sports leagues and the media. They also own the media. Those are the people I should be racist to. They plant racism.
I wouldn't say racist.
They're my enemy. They're my enemy.
I would say, instead of saying racist, be highly cautious of anybody with public ill content. Like for all those religious people, for all the religious people out there, they I think in the Bible or the Quran, whichever one, probably both, because they're pretty much the same book. It says your enemy will be open. You will be facing an open enemy. And if if that's not an open enemy, the New World Order, or because my shit get blocked enough. My shit get blocked enough, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know the guy
you can't ignore what they're doing.
the guy we're
go ahead.
the guy we're directing to is on his 20th channel. You know, Gematria Effect News. Why would he be on his 20th channel? You know, because they like to block us for telling people this stuff.
So what I'm going to do is let the man speak for himself.
Yeah,
I'm going to play the video, and
butter up the popcorn.
It's about 10 minutes or so, but it's vital information.
And he has 10,000 more videos besides this that are all informative. You still there, bro? I think he froze up, y'all. Yep. I guess it's just me on the show. I could go ahead if anyone came on late until he comes back. I could review the 121s and the 201. Event 201 was a simulation that Bill Gates hosted about a pandemic that could kill 65 million people. Why would the media, the government, and Bill Gates be able to show us a simulation like that? What are the odds that they show us something like that, and then it all happens, the pandemic, and of course all the doctors, nurses, and you know police and firemen and people of the that represent cities. Of course, they're going to be the first people that are taught, oh, you got to wear the mask and you got to wear the gloves and it's real. I mean, and because those are the people working with us, guy, I don't know. I don't know how it's not so obvious to everybody, to be honest, man. I can sit here and paint pictures all day, but let me actually just message Studi and see what's going on, if he's. Where are you at, bro? My messages. There you are. I tried to give him a message. We'll see. Does anybody else hear me? Can you guys tell me in the comments?
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
The system crashed. Why, I don't know. I apologize.
Oh, we're good, bro.
Let me get that video up. That happens more frequent when that, honestly, and I'm not trying to be super Mr. Conspiracy Man, but whenever I'm about to show a video or something like that, or when I get to talking, that seems to happen.
I gotcha. It's probably just a connection thing, maybe, or who knows?
Nah, because my connection is usually smooth. It's just
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what.
It probably does have something to do with YouTube. I mean, I've just sat there and watched a guy get his channel cut down 20 times, so
Yeah,
it happens. They censor, they make it so less people see,
all that stuff. Like I'm telling you, that shit
We're
is
on their platform. We're on the government's platform. When you're on Facebook, that's the government. Mark Zuckerberg is part of the government because he's eating breakfast at the round table of the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady, Mr. Patriot Act. He's eating breakfast at the New World Order round table. You know what I'm saying? So when you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google, that's the government spying mechanism,
right.
So when you start exposing them, if you ran a popsicle stand and you were cheating everybody, once somebody starts telling you, just as a small example there.
You're
I'm blabbing. I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh, okay, y'all. This is going to be a breakdown of the film called Inferno that was released on Bill Gates' 61st birthday. Here you go.
Welcome back,
And he
Truth
ties
Seeker.
together the coronavirus.
The film Inferno, released October 28th, 2016 on Bill Gates' 61st birthday. There's a lot of things that are interesting about this movie, but right away what jumps out is the central theme of the movie. The most important plot element is that a billionaire wants to depopulate the world. And again, Bill Gates, this movie came out on his birthday. Of course, he's a billionaire who has been advocating for more than a decade about how we need to depopulate the world. He commonly says we need to reduce population by 15%. So what are the odds that a movie like this would release on his birthday? If you think that's a coincidence, let's look at a few more things that stand out. This film, we'll talk about it coming out on his 61st birthday, but just right here, the film is 2 hours and 1 minute long. So if you get this like at your Redbox and put it in your DVD or Blu-ray player, it'll load up 201, the length of the film. Bill Gates, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with Johns Hopkins University and the World Economic Forum, they just hosted Event 201, which was simulating a coronavirus outbreak. This took place October 18th, 2019, months before the supposed coronavirus outbreak began. And you can watch the highlights of Event 201. It's about an 11-minute video. You'll see that it covers everything from the destruction of the economy to, the stopping of travel to how the internet will need to be censored because of people who put out misinformation and conspiracy theories. Event 201, nobody's talking about it. Everyone needs to know about it. So Inferno is 201 in length when you put it in the DVD player. 2 hours, 1 minute. And 2 hours and 1 minute, of course, is 121 minutes. The star in this film is Tom Hanks. Remember, Tom Hanks supposedly came down with the coronavirus on March 11th. We covered that then. Here's the breaking headline, March 11th. It happened when we were doing our TFR radio program. We broke it down in real time, and right away we noticed, a lot of things that jumped out, including the fact that it came 121 days from Tom Hanks' upcoming 64th birthday on July 9th. As we've been talking about, the first case of coronavirus in the U.S. was January 21st, 121. Coronavirus outbreaks, 121. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's 121, which is headquartered in Seattle, Washington, where the first coronavirus case was found. And of course, corona means crown, and Seattle is in King County, where the Bill and Melinda Gates HQ is. It's right across the street from the Space Needle, a big needle, a symbolic needle. Bill Gates is Mr. Vaccine. He said we can depopulate the world through vaccines. Curious statement. Again, Johns Hopkins University has the Gematria of 121 as well. They put on the event with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Johns Hopkins University is also 113, like the day Tom Hanks was supposedly diagnosed with coronavirus. And if you want to add to that list, World Health Organization is 121. The World Health Organization is a big part of the plot of Inferno. And of course, in recent days, Sirius XM has created channel 121, which is the coronavirus outbreak channel. Channel number 121. So when I click that, it goes off the screen. But Sirius XM 121, the coronavirus channel, absolute fact. You can look it up. We've been talking about 121 nonstop way before this channel even existed. So you have to say, what are the odds? 121-minute film on Bill Gates' birthday, also 2 hours and 1 minute. Again, the same people who control media are the same people who control Hollywood, are the same people that control government, mega corporations, including the pharmaceutical industry. What they put out in Hollywood is oftentimes predictive programming, letting us know what's going to come in what we call the real world. Now, with regards to this releasing on Bill Gates' 61st birthday, year of the rat equals 61. That's the year we're in. Rats are known for spreading virus and plagues. Bill Gates' former company, Microsoft, in 2019 put out the video game A Plague's Tale. You fight off rats. True story. Look it up. It's a fact. That's what you do throughout the whole video game. You just fight off rats infested with plague. And then the name of Event 201, or the subtitle, was A Global Pandemic Exercise. Get rid of the exercise. A global pandemic is 61. 61 is the 18th prime number. Event 201 took place on October 18th. It simulated a coronavirus outbreak that lasts 18 months. And they compare it to the Spanish flu of 1918. It's a lot of 18s. Think about it. Doing things by the numbers. Doing things by a mathematical
That's what ritualistic
code.
people
This is how
do.
Masons operate. Freemasonry, Masonic networks, Knights Templar, Jesuits, etc. So what a nice little riddle. And again, just to hit a few more things about Event 201, William Henry Gates equals 201. A key theme in Inferno is the story of Dante's Inferno, which involves the gates of hell. William Henry Gates, gates of hell. Of course, Bill Gates' father was a eugenicist as well, one of the founders of Planned Parenthood. But Bill Gates' full name, 201. Again, the Event 201 simulation, October 18, 2019. Same day the Military World Games began in Wuhan. That was October 18th, 2019.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
The simulation killed 65 million people. Strangely enough, it took place on Melinda Gates' 65th day of her age. Bill Gates will turn 65 in October of 2020. The word pandemic, 65. Of course, Bill Gates did the Netflix documentary, The Next Pandemic, November 7th, 2019, before any of this happened. He's also in the documentary Plandemic, which came out January 22nd, 2020, 3 years to the day of Bill Gates speaking in Switzerland in Davos about a coming pandemic that could be intentional. That was January 22nd, 2017, in Switzerland, the home of the World Health Organization, the home of the International Bank of Settlements, the biggest bank in the world, the most powerful bank in the world, and also the home of the World Economic Forum, which co-hosted Event 201. And let us not forget that Bill and Melinda were married January 1st, 94, 65 days after Bill Gates' 38th birthday. Pandemic with the alphabetic order, 65, with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, 38. Also, Dean Koontz, he put out a novel, The Eyes of Darkness, in 1981, predicts a military conspiracy about a coronavirus outbreak. The strain is called Wuhan 400, which equals 201. Again, Dean Koontz is 74 years old right now, like how the simulation was done on October 18th, the day leaving 74 days left in the year, the signature number of the Masons. And from his birthday to the
Birthday
start of the year of
7-4.
the rat, January 25th, was his 201st day of his age. Year of the rat's also 142, like coronavirus, like how they suspended the NBA season on the 142nd day of the NBA season, which was March 11th, the same day Tom Hanks came down with the coronavirus. And, of course, the National Basketball Association equals 113, like 11/3 the date. Like how the only team in the league that equals 113 is Utah Jazz, and supposedly it was a player for the Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert, who came down with the coronavirus that suspended play. And to sum up the Event 201 theme, with Tom Hanks being the star of Inferno, that's 2 hours, 1 minute, 201 on the DVD player. He put out this Instagram post with the Corona typewriter. It's Tom Hanks, just days ago. And in there, he wrote, "Hey, folks, good news. 1 week after testing positive and self-isolation, the symptoms are much the same. No fever but the blahs. Folding the laundry and doing the dishes leads to a nap on the couch. Bad news, my wife, Rita Wilson, has won 6 straight hands of gin rummy and leads by 201 points. The mockery is thick. And again, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. By the way, from Tom Hanks' last birthday to the day he came down with coronavirus was his 247th day of his age against Seattle Washington's 247. Again, he starred in Sleepless in Seattle. Think Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Think about how all these things tie together. It's just mind-blowing, True Seeker, the way they mock us and the way that people who don't want to see will look at things like this and just call it all coincidence.
Yeah.
Talked to so many people protesting in Seattle this past weekend who would have loved this information, but also so many people who I just know, if I told it all to them like this, they would say something back like, "Do you know how crazy you sound?" I don't know why this sounds crazy to you. Maybe if you have your head up your ass, you don't know anything about how the world operates. But for those of us who do, this isn't crazy. This is pretty much par for the course. So,
Yeah, for like 7
check
years
out the
in a row.
film about a billionaire who wants to depopulate the world, released on Bill Gates's 61st
We
birthday.
just proved it. We just slam dunked it, Studi.
Yeah.
Till next time.
We just slam dunked it, bro. I mean,
so as you can see, Plandemic by the numbers, closed case. But I did a lecture.
Man. Damn.
Because he mentioned the Event 201, which I broke down in a prior lecture on my. I think it's it might be a 4th season. But it's Kissinger Report. I did a whole lecture on eugenics. So I'm going to bring that up and I'm going to show you. I'm going to play that video that he was talking about with the simulation because I have that in my lecture. So
okay.
Let me bring that up. And I got some other COVID-19 points too, since that's the subject that
we can
on.
Talk about whatever you like, bro.
So now this is one of my lectures that I do. The Kissinger Report, reintroducing the eugenics plot, and let me break down what eugenics is so they can know like what is going on. It is the study of how to arrange reproduction within a human population to increase the occurrence of heritable characteristics regarded as desirable. It was developed largely by Francis Galton as a method of improving the human race. And I'm going to skip down. I break down I break down the Kissinger Report. Let me just read what that document is about real quick, so they know that that this isn't anything new. Now, the Kissinger Report was put out December 10th, 1974, but it wasn't open to the public. It says declassified, released on 7/3/89. But they had this report done and this meeting done in 1974. And it basically is, within the report are schemes of using various tactics that our generation continue to argue amongst each other about. Not only does it present historical facts about governmental manipulation, but it'll make you think twice about policies that mainstream media projects and supports. Now, I'm not going to do this whole lecture because if you want to see it, just go to that prior episode. But I'm going to skip down to Bill Gates because he has a whole section because he's a weirdo. Most people probably don't even know what he does. He's really just a software developer. Microsoft. That's why he's so rich, but he's not a fucking doctor. And Bill, I have this article right here. Bill Gates made his mission clear on February 1997. Right here it says worst case scenario: an overpopulated planet choked to extinction by a lung attacking virus. And what is the lung attacking virus right now? COVID-19. And right here it says Bill Gates talks to John Kennedy about Murdoch, money, and world domination. So once again, this is an actual magazine. You can look it up. But like Zach said, Event 201, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted it. Bill Gates funded ops. September 2010, Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies received $367,941 to support a reporting fellowship to influential journalists in the U.S. media to cover global health stories in different countries around the world, according to keionline.org. That is proof that Johns Hopkins is just another front for Bill's propaganda and New World Order agendas. Also, think about that. Influential journalists in the U.S. media to cover global health stories. Why do you think there's a massive control of information about vaccines and COVID-19? Because he is in their pockets. Event 201. Go ahead if you want to cut in.
Well, I was just going to say, like whatever Bill Gates' profession is doesn't even matter to me personally because he's part of the secret societies that run this world. He's got the billions of dollars. It's all a work, in my opinion. My view is it's all theatrics. So, I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to put that in there. Like,
I really wish that I had put this in here, but if you look, this says October 10th, 2019. This was posted on Johns Hopkins Center, their Twitter. It says you can watch the story of Event 201 unfold in real time during our October 18th virtual pandemic exercise. Now, the important part about that is not the words, but that plush doll is what the coronavirus looks like. I wish I had talking. Go ahead.
They're talking about a pandemic before it happens, and then it happens.
Right, but I'm saying they got it down to the T where they're making plush animals of the actual virus. That's very
right.
That's very
it's a joke. Yeah, to me, it's like what I'm confused by this. Okay, so you're showing us something in the like a tragedy, and then it happens, and we're all supposed to believe it. Like I'm still waiting for the punchline here. Like
well, I don't doubt because I have evidence of the patents and things of the virus, so I don't doubt that it's real. I just don't feel like it is. No, I don't. It's not a feeling. I know that it's just flu.
It's the equivalent to a cold, right?
Yeah.
So eat chicken noodle soup.
It's strong. It's a strong flu that if you have a compromised immune system, your body, if your body cannot fight off the virus naturally and your immune system is not at the top level, then yeah, you can die from it. But it is just a severe case of the flu.
Well, maybe that's what they've been spraying in the sky, stuff that lowers people's immune systems.
Aerosol.
So yeah, when you it does affect their numbers by unleashing this coronavirus. I might add, because I'm quite certain I'm ever sitting here, people mistake it. They think that I think the virus don't exist. The virus is a hoax. No, I believe the virus can exist, but have they unleashed it at 100% yet? You know, are they? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? An
Well,
agenda.
they say that it's gonna be a second wave and it's gonna be worse. That's what they say.
Of course. And of course that's what it's going to be, you know, which we covered earlier, you know.
Yeah. So Event
Wow.
201 simulates an outbreak of a novel zoonotic coronavirus transmitted from bats to pigs to people that eventually becomes. And remember, when they first popped, they said, "Oh, it's from eating bats." I want y'all to remember that. Eventually becomes effectively transmissible from person to person, leading to severe pandemic. The pathogen and the diseases it causes are modeled largely on SARS, which I have the patent that it is a genetically modified version of SARS, but it is more transmissible in the community setting by people with mild symptoms. And here go the highlights right here. But I want to hold on. Let me see if it's
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Before I play
You're
the
saying-
video, though, because I want to show them that there is a patent because people want to argue and laugh and think it's a game. But so before I play the Event 201 simulation, I want to go through this. The Pirbright Institute. The Pirbright Institute is a research institute in Surrey, England, dedicated to the study of infectious diseases of farm animals. It forms part of the UK government's Biotechnology and Biological Sciences Research Council. The institute employs scientists, vets, PhD students, and operations staff, according to Google. They are funded by the Gates Foundation. Major news outlets like U.S. Today denies Bill Gates and his association with said institute.
Hey, shut up.
Even though the website gatesfoundation.org clearly
I'll get him in a minute.
grants in their intentions with the money. Now, what is Bill Gates' association with Pirbright? No, that should say why is Bill Gates' association with Pirbright important? Pirbright owns the patent to the coronavirus. Now, please write this down so y'all can research it yourselves. EP3172319B1. Now, right here, what we're looking at is the European Patent Office, and this is the number. And this is application filed by Pirbright Institute right here. That's what it shows, right? They own the patent until, you see that? Anticipated expiration 7/23/2035. So they literally own this patent right here until 2035. Now you may be like, okay, but what is it? Corona facts from the patent. Okay, I am going to literally read from the patent real quick. Coronavirus primarily infect the upper respiratory or gastrointestinal tract of mammals and birds. 5 to 6 different currently known strains of coronaviruses infect humans. The most publicized human coronavirus, SARS-CoV, which causes severe acute respiratory syndrome, aka SARS, has a unique pathogenesis because it causes both upper and lower respiratory tract infections and can also cause gastroenteritis. Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, MERS-CoV, also causes a lower respiratory tract infection in humans. Coronaviruses are believed to cause a significant percentage of all common colds in human adults. Let me reread that for the people in the back. Coronaviruses are believed to cause a significant percentage of all common colds in human adults. Coronaviruses also cause a range of diseases in livestock animals and domesticated pets, some of which can be serious and are a threat to the pharma industry. Remember, they were talking about, cats got it, you know.
By the way, the rock outside my house died of coronavirus. All right.
Okay. Let me see.
It was a joke.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. Which has been reported from. Okay, I'm trying to find Okay, no, that's not important. Okay, how they made the coronavirus. They used reverse engineering and gene splicing of a natural virus. This is from the same patent. A method for making the coronavirus according to any claims 1 to 6, which comprises the following steps. Transfecting a plasmid according to claim 9 into a host cell, infecting the host cell with a recombining virus comprising the genome of a coronavirus strain with a replicase gene, preferably wherein the recombining virus is a vaccinia, as you can, it's right here, y'all. I'm literally reading right here. Preferably within the recombining virus is a vaccinia virus, allowing homologous recombination to occur between the replicase gene sequences in the plasmid and the corresponding sequences in the recombining virus genome to produce a modified replicase gene, and selecting for recombining virus comprising the modified replicase gene, optionally further comprising the step of recovering recombinant coronavirus comprising the modified replicase gene from the DNA from the recombining virus. Proof that Pirbright is funded by Bill Gates. This is from Pirbright. Y'all can go look this up. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funds development of Pirbright's livestock antibody hub supporting animal and human health. And also, Pirbright begins testing new coronavirus vaccines on animals to help combat COVID-19. So not only are they developing the disease, but like I said earlier, they're so-called making the cure. But remember that they said that it is let me reread it, infecting the host cell, which is, your cells, with a recombining virus comprising the genome of a coronavirus strain with a replicase gene, preferably wherein the recombining virus is a vaccine, pretty much. So literally when they say, oh, we're testing for corona, they're literally injecting you with it.
I believe that.
And that's why it's saying that is the method for it to spread.
So that means people like nurses or doctors that give you a shot, they could be inadvertently giving you the coronavirus and not even know it. Exactly. They think they're doing their job.
Yep.
Now that's what I speculate that. Absolutely.
Please, everybody, and then we're going to watch the video. Go to We the People. As you can see, they already reached their goal. This is 100,000 goal of signing, and this was created April 10, 2020. We call for investigations into the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for medical malpractice and crimes against humanity. So please go sign that, even though they have reached their goal already. Without me still yapping my flappers, I'm gonna play this video. And it's a bit long, but I feel like it's worth it because you will see we are literally living through the simulation. And it's going to take a second to load. Please, as we're waiting for this, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That helps push it through the algorithm and all that. And so more people can hear this information. In knowing is the first step,
It began in healthy-looking pigs, months, perhaps years ago. A new coronavirus spread silently within herds. Gradually, farmers started getting sick. Infected people got a respiratory illness with symptoms ranging from mild flu-like signs to severe pneumonia. The sickest required intensive care. Many died. Experts agree, unless it is quickly controlled, it could lead to a severe pandemic, an outbreak that circles the globe and affects people everywhere.
The mission of the Pandemic Emergency Board is to provide recommendations to deal with the major global challenges arising in response to an unfolding pandemic. The board is comprised of highly experienced leaders from business, public health, and civil society.
We could be looking at double the number of cases in 1 week and 16 times as many in a month if we are not able to stop the spread. That would be on the order of 500,000 cases, and it would continue to rise exponentially. In 3 months, we could be approaching 10 million cases.
We're at the start of what's looking like it will be a severe pandemic. And there are problems emerging that can only be solved by global business and governments working together.
We have known about caps-like viruses in animals and people for decades, but have not been successful at developing a licensed vaccine. And sure, there are new technologies that may help, but it's going to be difficult. I'm not optimistic about having a vaccine in time relevant during this pandemic.
So the policy crisis in question for this board in this meeting is this: how should governments, business, and international organizations allocate and distribute pandemic antivirals and medical supplies to the people who need them most?
What we've seen work very well in the HIV field is, in fact, procurement through the Global Fund. So having a centralized mechanism, so financially able to procure on behalf of affected countries will be critical. I think the second thing is it's going to be very important that for the business sector, for manufacturers of antivirals, that we have clarity around what the need is and where the need is and who are making the decisions.
I think that given that the countries most affected are those that are low and middle income countries with unequal access to technology, to finances, the UN has a worldwide footprint, universally recognized, and universal membership.
A global stockpile would certainly help ensure more rational and strategic allocation, but the reality is that we don't have the logistics capability, even within the UN, to bring that together in one place and run it. So this is where I think a collaboration between the international organizations like the World Health Organization and the private sector, which runs these supply chains for many purposes every day, understand where the supplies are, make smart decisions about how to allocate them to the people who need them in the places that need them the most, and then work with the industry to move those supplies from where they are today to where they need to be.
Just to underscore the point that cooperation among supply chain providers or businesses that have huge supply chains efficiency to the whole process.
The question is, can you, through this international mechanism, really promote commitments to doing this?
Already got them by the numbers. They did all the stuff accordingly.
Will have a better chance of protecting their own populations and their country's security.
That's why remember, this is a simulation.
Most of this production would already be almost under people producing product without having a forward commitment.
Tells you all you need to know.
First thing that needs to be done is this is not something that the countries currently control, unless countries are going to bring about emergency situations and co-opt an existing supply chain.
I think it's not likely. I agree that countries are not going to buy.
I just say my
countermeasures
sometimes
without retaining a large portion of it for themselves.
Public health agencies have issued travel advisories, while some countries have banned travel from the worst affected areas. As a result, the travel sector is taking a huge hit. Travel bookings are down 45%, and many flights
45. Trump's the 45th.
Through the service sector. Governments that rely on travel and tourism as a large part of their economies are being hit particularly hard.
How should national leaders, businesses, and international organizations balance the risk of worsening disease that would be caused by the continued movement of people around the world against the risks of profound economic consequence of travel and trade bans?
If there's some sense that there's a UN institution that can do all of this, then I worry we're suffering from a delusional disorder on the power of the UN. It's really important to get those industries and their trade associations and an efficient leadership established, which is decentralized, but has a collective responsibility and accountability. And that needs to be supported by the public leadership.
What is essential, what is non-essential travel, we have to clarify this. Otherwise, if we go down to 20% bookings over a long period, the company will run down. That's a fact.
You know, there's a whole complex set of issues in a highly interdependent world on supply chains that are just in time. We need to think about how much flex there is in that just-in-time supply chain system and make sure it keeps running. I think it's going to take specificity, and it's going to take knowledge that only the private sector has. The UN can play an important coordinating facilitation role, but the companies know where those commodities are, where they move, how to move them. And that's where a type of public-private collaboration that we have not generally had in these crises needs to be put together pretty quickly.
We are not out of money yet, but the fact is we are trending in a dangerous direction and something needs to change.
So the policy question for this board now is, how should financial resources be prioritized? Are there nodes that we cannot allow to fail? What is your sense of priorities? We don't have money to pay for all of these urgent problems.
So at the moment, we want the fund, right? You need the money. So where's the money? So government can supply some money. A lot of, private sectors, some are sitting here, you have some money, but now you need a really coordinated, centralized effort.
Hotels will be experiencing, crippling losses doing that. And we know that the hotel business in itself makes up 5% of the GDP.
Governments need to be willing to do things that are out of their historical perspective, or for the most part, it's really a war footing that we need to be on.
We shouldn't underestimate the power of entrepreneurship. We need to escalate that, whether it's through the government's helping with tax breaks or subsidies of that nature to increase manufacturing of those types of products.
There's your stimulus package.
Marshall type plan. Don't mean to say that exactly, but a Marshall plan they can go into effect can stimulate a change very quickly.
There's your stimulus package, folks.
Wow.
Countries are reacting in different ways as to how best to manage the overwhelming amounts of dis and misinformation circulating over the internet. In some cases, limited internet shutdowns are being implemented to quell panic.
How much control of information should there be, and by whom?
Censorship.
And how can false information be effectively challenged? And what if that false information is coming from companies or from governments?
I think it's very important that we make sure that there is concise communication with all healthcare facilities where these patients are being treated so that there isn't mass panic.
We're at a moment where the social media platforms have to step forward and recognize the moment to assert that they're a technology platform and not a broadcaster is over. They, in fact, have to be a participant in broadcasting accurate information and partnering with the scientific and health communities to counterweight, if not flood the zone of accurate information, because to try to put the genie back in the bottle of the misinformation and disinformation is nigh impossible.
One thing we haven't spoken about, and I'm wondering whether it's time to talk about this, is a step up from the part of the governments on enforcement actions against fake news.
I personally do not believe that trying to shut things down in terms of information is either practical or desirable. And we do have, I think, a couple of strategies that are available to us, one of which is the flood strategy, second of which is relying and informing and equipping trusted sources of information with the facts so they can then pass that on. But we also need to actually think about a technological answer to this.
Scenario epilogue.
The outcome of the CAPS pandemic in Event 201 was catastrophic. 65 million people died in the first 18 months. The outbreak was small at first and initially seemed controllable, but then it started spreading in densely crowded and impoverished neighborhoods of megacities. From that point on, the spread of the disease was explosive. Within 6 months, cases were occurring in nearly every country. The global economy was in a free fall. The GDP down 11%. Stock markets around the world plummeted between 20 and 40% and headed into a downward cycle of fear and low expectation. Businesses were not borrowing, banks were not lending. Everyone was just hoping to hunker down and weather the storm. Economists say the economic turmoil caused by such a pandemic will last for years, perhaps a decade. The societal impacts, the loss of faith in government, the distrust of news, and the breakdown of social cohesion could last even longer. We have to ask, did this need to be so bad? Are there things we could have done in the 5 to 10 years leading up to the pandemic that would have lessened the catastrophic consequences? We believe the answer is yes. So, are we as a global community now finally ready to do the hard work needed to prepare for the next pandemic?
Event 201, a global panic exercise. And remember, you see this date right here, 10/10/19. And like, man, you can't make this shit up. So please do your research and understand that it's not a game. Like, they really planned this all out months beforehand, knew exactly how people were going to react, knew the protocols that they were going to initiate when all this stuff happened. It's just blatant. I'm going to put up some of y'all comments on here.
Yeah.
No such thing as AIDS, colds, heart attacks, everything coronavirus now. Exactly. Everything else just disappeared. Like, high blood pressure don't exist no more. Fucking genetic disease don't mean anything. It's everything is corona.
Well, their comment, makes me think about how we show all this contrived news over the years. When people look at Gematria Effect News and go to his old channels, which all you do is type his name in, Zachary K. Hubbard, and you hit all of his old channels, you'll see news from a few years ago where I got to wonder if Magic Johnson even had AIDS. Or was he just the poster boy?
Yeah.
Or was he just the poster boy for it? You know what I mean?
I will say this: Freddie Mercury did look sick as hell. Like, he looked like he was like had something.
But I'm just saying, I think they lie about all this stuff. Like, Elvis was the first one to get a polio vaccine, and then that made all the public get polio vaccines.
Right.
So, like, when he says AIDS and all this stuff don't exist, like, I kind of agree with that.
Well, no.
They
He was
contrive.
saying, no. He was saying, like, ever since coronavirus came out, all the deaths are due to corona. It's not due to existing symptoms or anything. It's just, it's corona. Which I have evidence too that they are fudging the numbers, but people should know that.
That's what we promote. That's definitely what we promote. They contrive and fudge numbers. Even on your local news, I've seen that 56%, and like virus equals 50, all kinds of words. Hubbard shows it equals 56, toilet paper equals 56, mind control equals 56, so it's all about the number 56, right? And then on my local news, I see the number 56. So it kind of proves it that it's used, so Gematria Effect News on YouTube. That's what my t-shirt says. So that's who
check that out.
Everybody should listen to him. We can share his work, but when you hear it from him, it's much better. And he's trying to grow. We're trying to grow.
Can y'all see this video? Can you see that?
I don't see a video yet. I just see you and me.
Okay, let me share this. Let me share my screen because I'm going to play another video and then we can go ahead and head out of here.
Okay.
Thank you for everybody who's been rocking us. Everybody new. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Everybody who has been here before, thank y'all for keep coming back. I really rock with y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. But I'm going to play because this video is a little bit long, but I think it's very important. And this is from my eugenics lecture as well. So if you want to see the whole lecture, please just double back and look for a eugenics plot. So, but this is evidence that they might have. Oh Oh shit! Hold on. They might have removed. Whoa. Okay. Yo, yo, that's crazy. Okay, I'm so glad that I still got that video. They have deleted the video, but it's on my lecture, and I still. Well, actually, this is a good ass way to plug my Patreon.
Wait a minute. If they deleted the video, all links to the video is not going to work.
No. I have it within my lecture, so they wouldn't be able to edit that out. Now hold on, let me go.
If it's the link to it, it'll work to you. To you, it'll still play, but to other people, it'll be a broken link. That's what happened to me on my page, Daily Dose of Gematria.
Okay, well,
all 500 videos.
Hold on, let me. I want to do this so I can show them exactly what video it is, and I want somebody to please look for it and tell me if it's there or not.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I'm glad. But either way, it's going to be on my Patreon because every episode is recorded that I do. So I still have access to it. So they ain't stopped nothing. If
what I'm saying is I had access to all my 500 videos on Daily Dose of Gematria, and I could watch that video on my phone. But if my cousin, Brad, he would try to click the link on his phone and it'd say broken link. So that means everybody else but you. That's how the censoring works. It still looks fine to you. Everything looks good to you, but nobody else can see it.
Now, this is just to show all the work that we've put in so far with the information.
Wow.
So y'all can really just double back and learn so much stuff through this channel. But where's the eugenics one? Here we go, right here. This is the eugenics episode. And as you see, I still be watching my own stuff. But season
well, you gotta learn.
Right. Season 4, episode 2, eugenics revisited. Can somebody please look this video up?
I will.
And yeah, please look it up for me and see if you're able to watch it. But it's season 4, episode 2, eugenics revisited. And let me actually see if I can go through this video and find it so I can play it. It was after Bill Kill 'em all Gates.
See, I look at all that stuff like with Bill Gates on TV talking or whatever he's doing. That's all just their propaganda. It's all them brainwashing everybody with their news, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're telling us what they're doing, and
there we go. Now I'm just gonna play it, and however long I let it rock, that's just the information. But I have, fortunately, I wish I had played the whole thing because that's really sad that we're being censored that much. But tell me if y'all can hear this, okay?
Thank you, and thank you for the introduction. At a time where telling the truth is considered a threat to national security, we're very blessed to have a pastor who tells us the truth. We are blessed beyond measure. So I'm going to read this so that I make sure I don't give excessive commentary. So I'm going to talk about death certificates today. The decision for unprecedented government mandated lockdowns has been based on the alleged death rate of COVID-19. Is this death rate based on truth? I posted the following question on Facebook yesterday. This is the question. Know anybody personally with baseline good health who has been hospitalized for COVID-19 alone or allegedly died from COVID-19? That was my question. I asked the question this way because if you know someone personally, you may know their baseline health status and some details of the case. And being tested positive for COVID-19 does not mean you have the disease. Even asking the question this specifically, I still got some people saying their spouse knows a friend who's of a nephew in New York. And some who answered yes, but didn't give the details, even though I asked them, could you please submit some more details? I got over 350 comments and received dozens of no answers, if not scores. Last I counted, there were 3 or 4 who answered yes and said their case fit the criteria, and they gave me some details. But even those 3 or 4, giving them the benefit of the doubt that they were answering honestly to the best of their knowledge, does that mean the person they described was actually stricken with COVID-19? Inquiring minds want to know, are the reported
means
deaths
they
from
just think they
COVID-19
know.
truly deaths from COVID-19? To address this question, we need to discuss death certificates, since death certificates are the basic source of information about mortality. The discussion of death certificates is not a fun one. We have all grieved so many losses in our lifetimes. Still, we need to talk about it because they are the basis of the so-called death rate of COVID-19. History-changing decisions are being made due to these figures, despite the fact that they are flat out wrong, based on data that is insufficient and often inaccurate. Few people know how much individual power and leeway is given to the physician, coroner, or medical examiner signing the death certificate. How do I know this? I've been filling out death certificates for over 30 years. More often than we want to admit, we don't know with certainty the cause of death when we fill out death certificates. That is just life. We are doctors, not God. Autopsies are rarely performed, and even when an autopsy is done, the actual cause of death is not always clear. Physicians make their best guesstimate and fill out the form. Then that listed cause of death, whatever we list, is entered into a vital records data bank to use for statistical analysis, which then gives out inaccurate numbers, as you can imagine. Those inaccurate numbers then become accepted as factual information,
like
even though much of it
contrived
is
numbers.
Let me pause that right there to emphasize what she just admitted. She just admitted that the medical community, for the most part, guess the causes of death. And even though those are guesses and they don't actually have facts in the database, it's seen as true. And that's used to compile information about all of us. That is nuts.
So,
who by the way, who is this lady we're listening to?
Death certificates
Where's this from? The news?
and educated guesses.
No, this isn't from the news. They were holding a conference.
COVID-19, there is the additional data skewer that is, get this, there is no universal definition of COVID-19 death. The Center for Disease Control, updated from yesterday, April 4th, still states that mortality, quote unquote, data includes both confirmed and presumptive positive cases of COVID-19. That's from their website. Translation, the CDC counts both true COVID-19 cases and speculative guesses of COVID-19 the same. They call it death by COVID-19. They automatically overestimate the real death numbers by their own admission. Prior to COVID-19, people were more likely to get an accurate cause of death written on their death certificate if they died in the hospital. Why more accurate when a patient dies in the hospital? Because hospital staff has physical exam findings, labs, radiologic studies, etc., to make a good, educated guess. It is estimated that 60% of people die in the hospital. But even those in hospital deaths, the cause of death is not always clear, especially in someone with multiple health conditions, each of which could cause the death. Clear-cut causes of death might include traumatic brain injury, say from a car accident, intractable seizures or asthma, sepsis from overwhelming infection, respiratory arrest from a COPD exacerbation, ruptured aneurysm, metastatic cancer, massive acute heart attack, stroke, or pulmonary embolism. I will talk more in a little bit about why inaccuracy in the cause of death has declined for hospital deaths with the introduction of COVID-19 testing. There are also unclear causes of death in ambulances. That's a reality.
I want to stop it there because y'all get the point that they're making up the numbers. And even if you come in with the sniffles, they're more likely going to say that, yeah, you have COVID. And that's
COVID-19, dude, can I tell you a story? I just went to the hospital personally. Some people on here know that I'm on at-home dialysis and I need a kidney transplant. And I go into the hospital because for the first time in a year, I was holding a little bit of fluid in my legs, and I had to leave work. And so I go to the hospital, right? You know how when you go there, you know, you're waiting in the emergency room and there's people ahead of you and you know, you got to wait 20, 30 minutes. They virtually walked me right into the back because it was so dead in there. I was like the only person, you know, so I got first class service right back to and they took care of me and I got out, but there was just nobody in there. But the funny part is they started asking me questions, you know, like they were asking me like, do I have symptoms? But the symptoms had nothing to do with why I was there. They're trying to hint if I have like COVID-19. And I pretty much, you know, handed them a business card, told them about my t-shirt, you know, and you know, pretty much like we're not even testing me for that, you know, and I told them how it's all a hoax pretty much. So
yeah. And I have a video actually on another episode. I'm not going to put it up, but I want y'all to look, you know, just dive deep into what I've been doing, because I have this video on one of my episodes. There's them showing somebody's grandmother laying in a body bag, but she's still breathing.
I don't know, man.
And I guess they had to force themselves into the building. I mean,
I don't know what to think of stuff like that.
It was literally a black lady. Let me hold on, let me see. I don't
right. If I watch something, I need to know what the source is. You know what I mean? Because they put stuff out there, you know, sometimes. I don't know. If it comes to the media and we're watching it, I have to know the source, you know?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Hold on, I'm looking the video because I don't want to bring up the episode, but I found it right there. Divine.
Right.
Okay. I'm about to share my screen. This is on World Star. And even if you see, like when I show you this visual, right? Whether you think that confirms conspiracy or not, with as far as lying about numbers, think about this. They have someone's family member laying in a body bag before they die with no ventilator, just a mask on. So when I show
and why are they showing us this is my question, I guess.
Maybe because the family, her family was angry and wanted to show people the manipulation and the lies and the neglect of so-called coronavirus patients.
Okay, I see.
That's what I took out of it. But here you go, right here.
O processo, porque é uma burocracia danada. É muito papel, autorização, resposta deles lá. Olha de uma calma.
So they're literally leaving this lady to die.
Are we sure that they're not just showing us like coronavirus kills people? Would that be what it is?
The headline says, "Just sad. Doctors allegedly told family she passed from COVID-19. A family member forced their way to the back to discover this." This was back in May 11th, 2020.
My personal opinion is that's theatrics. That's just video evidence of someone dying. So those people would be like crisis actors, and we also have amputee actors out there. You can get a job as an amputee actor. I think they're looking for help. That's what I say.
Either way, it shows that it caters to both mass hysterias, whether it's to promote that COVID is killing or the fact that they're being neglectful in the hospital system. Either way, we're showing lies. You know, we're getting showed manipulation. We're getting showed
absolutely.
Whether they're faking that people are actually dying from it, but because okay, if I had a grandparent, because I don't want to speak death on anyone, if I had a grandparent and they were sick, I would not want them to be laid in a body bag. That is beyond disrespectful. Like,
absolutely, I agree with that.
In a body bag before they're even dead, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, because then they're just writing them off as a number. You know,
exactly.
I get that, but what I promote at Gematria Effect News is that they show us this type of propaganda sometimes. You know, that looked like theatrics to me, promoting coronavirus, or they're still showing that hospitals did a poor job, but that part's theatrics too, I believe. But that's just my opinion, you know.
Right. So because y'all see the censorship, and I really, really wish I had played more of that video. That was my mistake. Please look for that video, though. She said her name in the beginning. I do not really recall what she said her name was, but I would like to thank my guest, Richard. Every time you come here, you bring the information, you bring the energy. I really appreciate that. Audience,
thank you, man.
Y'all are so dope. Y'all come in. I remember I had some audience members come in. I did a video like 3-4 in the morning. Y'all was in the building. I really appreciate y'all for that. And we just gonna go harder with the information. Like I said, if they delete my shit, I have a Patreon, and I will be uploading all my videos on the Patreon. And then hopefully one of these days I'll have my own website. And that's the reason. Like, I'm not the type of person to beg for money or anything like that. But when I say donations, that is what I'm asking for donations for. It's not for my pocket. It's to push the brand as further as possible, because because censorship is rampant. But look out for
it creates more time for you.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and I'd like to add something. You know, I'd like to add something real quick. You know, when I see us we posted a few of these videos now, I'd like to see more new people asking questions like, oh, hey, can you show me a couple of those Super Bowl riddles? If I seen a comment like that, I would post 4 Super Bowl riddles for them to see. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm trying to encourage people to find out all the riddles we show and ask it so they can show their friend or their cousin, or their coworker.
I'm going to be honest. A lot of my audience is like super smart. Like, they're smart as hell. Like, because I remember somebody, actually, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but Real Gab asked me, did I know about Gematria? So he already came in. Like I get those type of listeners. So they're actually very, very advanced in their not only spirituality, but their knowledge as well.
But every one of us knows people who are into politics or into sports or believes in the coronavirus. We all know people who don't know it's all rigged. And I just would like people to point people in the direction of Gematria Effect News. And then I did my job. So
well, since we're talking about that, and actually I see more people are popping in. Yeah, I know y'all be watching, but they be playing with numbers. they act like y'all not interested, and I know that. Like, I got a lot of intelligent people in my cipher. So this is before I show his channel. This is my channel. As you can see, 4 seasons worth of information. More, if not all, most videos are 100 plus with the views, but they play with numbers because the more y'all tell me y'all loving the content, the less numbers I seem to get. But I know y'all be in the building, so please, I've been doing this. This video right here was my very first video ever. This got 387 views 4 months ago. I just started in January, and look where we at. They've been playing with our numbers. I know I got to be at least 780 subscribers, but they keep snatching y'all away. So please keep on hitting that subscribe.
Absolutely.
Double back and see if you still subscribe because they be playing. But we've been going hard all 2020. And
I've been watching YouTube play with numbers for a long time now. That's what they do. The channels they want to promote will get a zillion views, but people who promote truth get nowhere. That's why when we see people like, truth channels that get viral or are actually on the news, that is straight bullshit is what it is. That's how you can tell, because you don't speak truth and get viral.
Obeys God says the ones who don't know it's rigged are the ones who want the government to make laws forcing vaccinations. Yeah, and that goes back into what I said. How people act like they need to be directed. They need somebody to tell them what to do. They need somebody to tell them what's right and wrong. When you have free will and everybody is intelligent enough to make their own decisions, nothing should be mandated because we have unalienable rights as people, as beings, period. And it doesn't take legislation to know that. You, as a baby, when you're done wrong, you cry and fight and scream and scratch. So why, as an adult, are you giving something that you inherently was born with? Like that's crazy. But this is Gematria Effect News. This was the video breakdown that we watched. Please, if you're gonna go subscribe or watch this video, please let them know who sent you, who asked you podcast. Please let him know.
Real truth being told.
Real truth being told, and who asked you podcast definitely supports Gematria Effect News, and I would love to interview him. So please y'all check him out. Let him know.
Let me tell Studi. Let me nip. He's not gonna. Me and him don't speak. Okay. So the way for you to do that is actually call his show right now. He's doing his Wednesday night radio show. You could do that after we hang up. I'll give you the number. You call his Wednesday night radio show and you're on the show until he unmutes you, and then you can say anything you want to him, bro. It actually, it doesn't even start. It hasn't even started yet. It starts in an hour. So you can have him come on your show. You just ask him on his show tonight. I'm going to give you instructions as soon as we hang up. I'll give you a call.
All right, good. Because I want to connect. I want to connect with him and get him on here for the people. And I would like to learn how he, where he.
Oh, you want to learn about the number 42?
No, I
want to learn about the number 42.
Well, yeah, because that's black. That's black people, correct?
I know, and I need all black people. I need all black people to learn that.
Yeah.
So that gives us a tall order right there, bro. That's very important stuff to this. It really ties a lot together. I mean, that's very important.
The black community, if any other persons of any other race has good intentions for all people and for black people, this is the channel to come to because I am all about that. Period. Like that. That's what I'm here for.
Jackie Robinson. Let me give him a 10-second rundown just in case, so we don't leave him curious. Jackie Robinson wore the number 42. In Gematria, you type in Jackie and it sums to 42. Martin, remember Martin Lawrence? He had that comedy show. Yep. Martin equals 42 in the calculator, and in the show he was in apartment 42. LeBron James' name equals 42. He was suspended and out 42 days, and then came back to play the Pacers and got blown out by 42. So see, these are some of the.
Well, let's not run that
let's
back.
not. Yeah.
Let's show them real quick before we head out of here.
Okay. They can take my word for it though, but you can do that.
So you
Jackie.
said, boom, 42 right there. You said
And he
Martin.
wore the number 42 coincidentally. Can you, I don't want to offend anybody at all, but can you put in the N word?
Yep. Boom, right here. Y'all see that?
Wasn't it around 1942 when Jackie Robinson came out, or maybe it was 47, but 47 is another huge number, but well, that's for another day. You just go to Zach Hubbard's channel and you'll figure all about the number 47, and you'll know why our nation's birthday's on 7/4.
Go ahead.
Martin was another one.
There we go. It's all a numbers game, y'all.
You know, he basically, Zach shows how the number 42 and 59 is stamped all over Black history, and he shows a million examples. I'm only showing a few here, but he puts them into stories. He doesn't just show you the value on the calculator. He's going to tell you a time in history when, you know, this happened with, you know, like Black, it's not an accident. February ends on, I think, the 59th day of the year, and February's Black History Month, and February's the only state that sums to 42. I think February sums to 42, if I'm not mistaken. And that's why it's Black History Month in February, because of the 42.
God damn it. Here we go, right here. 42.
You see that? Yeah.
At this point, it's not it was never a conspiracy, but conspiracy.
We're just showing. Yeah, and I don't want people, don't think that I'm a person like I think Gematria is cool, or I'm into Gematria. No, I'm into exposing people who use this stuff against us, you know. So, you know, these are some of the common things that people mistake, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like a Gematria mark.
Right. Right. It's not exciting to you. It's more or less like, look at the shit that they're doing.
What was that Black Malcolm X? See what he equals. See if he equals 42 by chance, stamped all over Black history.
Yeah. 42.
LeBron James.
Sheesh.
Let's type in Kobe Bryant for fun, since we're spending a few more minutes anyway, just playing around. We have a whole riddle, guys. Look at that 113. Kobe's debut was on 11/3. He was picked in the first round of the draft, 13th picked. First round, 13th picked. He died at age 41 on the 157th day of his age. The target points for the NBA All-Star game were 157 to win the same week he died. You know? And then the 41s, he died 41 minutes after his plane, or his helicopter crash took off. 41 minutes. The last person that he took a shot against in his career was number 41 of the Utah Jazz, and they took him out with 4.1 seconds left in the game. All contrived. All contrived. He died 41 days before Shaq's birthday, and in a span of 41 days after Joanne Buss, the owner of the Lakers, died. I think these are fake deaths. These people time their death out. You know what I mean? Based on the numbers, whether they died before or after. Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely clued in on the underground cities and what's all down there. I don't know, you know, but I get it.
They definitely have underground caverns, and they definitely have underground cities, for sure.
I get it.
And how do you
I'm
even
100.
where do you even sign up to go there? You know, like where's the list? Who's on the list?
Can I ask,
in the
what's
underground
that
club?
prove? What I just showed with his debut and when he was picked in the draft and all the 41s, there's like 20 of them. And then the 157, doesn't that prove that people in this world use this gematria and then they mock and lie to us? Isn't that kind of what it proves?
Yeah. It ain't nothing kind of about it.
Thank you, bro. At least I know one person believes me. Who's all out in the chat? Like, hey, shout out to my friend Keith Osborne who messaged me, and his answer to if I was smoking, well, yes. It's always 420, brother.
Yo, it's always even look at that. 420. That's 40. That reduces to 42 as well. And, you know, they use
Hey,
that.
I did. Now that's what we call a coincidence. That was law of probability. That was a good one though.
I don't know. See, you got me going.
I didn't plan that out, bro. I didn't plan that out at all. That was coincidence.
Things are divine. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in the divine.
No, guys, we'll go ahead and get off here or whatever. You know, it's been 2 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah,
we've been on 201. Oh my goodness.
That's a perfect.
We got 50 seconds. We got 50 seconds, bro. We gotta end it in 201.
This was the event 201.
Oh my God. Watch the whole video, guys.
Yeah. Please like,
there's
love,
people,
all that stuff.
there's people born and bred to be in this world that are running it all and mocking you. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Peace. We're gonna leave with love and light. Peace.